When you out there without care, I was out of tone. But it wasn't because I didn't know, no. I just knew too much.
Hello, everybody. Good morning. I hope you're well. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule to spend a few moments with me here on SML TV. Very quickly, I just wanted to throw something to you that I've been thinking about since yesterday. Now, let me bring you up to speed. As many of you know, Mr. Tutwang Glube was buried yesterday, and the PF came out in very strong numbers to support and to say their farewell to their dearly departed. And of course, Tutwang Glube is a Zambian, and our hearts go out to his family, and we mourn with the family as well. One of the things I noticed at the funeral was a very strong turnout by the PF. And the message that was sent out yesterday was that the PF appear to be united. And this is what I want to talk about today. The PF appear united, but, and there's a caveat there, okay? And this is what I'd like to focus on. There is a caveat. And before I get to the caveat, I want to give you a bit of a background. One of the things that was starkly different about this new administration back in August of 2021, when the Zambian people stood in unison and ushered in a completely new dispensation of leadership in the form of Hakainde Hichilema and the UPND. One of the things that characterized their way of doing things was when HH addressed the nation and said, "You must be magnanimous." The very first African president I have ever heard use this word, magnanimous. He urged not only the UPND supporters, he urged Zambians, young and old alike, everyone that stood under the banner of the flag of Zambia. He said, "I want you to be magnanimous." What does it mean to be magnanimous? Well, the simple definition is to be generous or forgiving, especially towards a rival or less powerful person. Now, let's not confuse forgiveness for justice, okay? Forgiveness and justice are two different things, okay? It doesn't mean just because I forgive you, you do not face the consequences of your crimes. Okay, let's not get that twisted. We understand that. But from the very beginning, you had a president that spoke a different language, a president that walked a different walk, and a president, in a sense, that raised the bar of leadership. Let me tell you what happened in the CBD when HH won. The PF scattered. All the PF cadres ran in different directions. They scampered like rats. And the new boys on the street, the new UPND thugs, they came into town. I was here. when they announced that HH was the brand new president of Zambia. The CBD was inundated. It was red. For the first time, it was red. For many years, it was never red. It was always green. For many years, the PF sent out a message that anyone that was seen wearing red or anything remotely related to red was to be beaten within an inch of their lives. But now all of a sudden, it's like the sun came out and their people could wear red. Now, right before HH made his big announcement, The UPND cadres wanted to take over from where the PF cadres left off. Let me say that again because that's very important. The moment the PF left, the new thugs on the street, the new UPND thugs, they came on the scene and they thought that they would take over from where the PF took over. Many of these so-called UPND thugs were out for blood. They were out to seek vengeance. They were on a mission to revenge, and they wanted retribution. And then all of a sudden, from nowhere, without warning, without alerting the nation, HH stood up and he said, "Be magnanimous. Do not be the new thugs on the street. Don't be the new thugs in town. Don't be the new hoodlums in town. Be different. And if you commit a crime under the banner, under the pavilion of the UPND, you are on your own." Nobody had ever heard such language from a president. I mean, we had President Edgar Lungu who feared the cadres. President Lungu was told in no uncertain terms, "Mr. President, don't touch the cadres. If you touch the cadres, then we're going to lose." But here it is, you had a president in Hakainde Hichilema who stood up and said, "Guys, we love you. We're in this together. We are on a trajectory to make this country better. Let's love each other. Let's not embrace that old mentality of thuggery and hoodlism. Be magnanimous. Be generous. Be a Zambian." That's what he said. Now, here's the problem with that. Here's the problem with that. The PF have taken HH's magnanimity for weakness. But they are wrong, because the standard of leadership has been raised. Now, you can sit there and talk about how you don't like the UPND or you don't like HH, and I will be the first one to admit there is no government in the world that is perfect. But we do agree that there are some governments that are better than others. And honey, given where we came from, given the backdrop, the backstory of where we were pre-2021, honey, we're in a better place now than what we were then. Sure, they don't have everything right. Sure, they're trying to work out the kinks. Sure, they're trying to iron out the creases. But the bottom line is we are better off now than what we were before. Guys, trickle-down economics doesn't happen instantaneously. It doesn't. And I'm not even an economist, and I know that. Nothing happens instantaneously. If you came from a background where all you were used to was handouts, all you were used to was underhanded methods, all you were used to was getting something for nothing. If you came from that background, you're going to have a difficult time functioning in this new dispensation, because let me tell you, you're not in Kansas anymore. Things have changed. Things are no longer the way they used to be. If you want a living, roll up your sleeves, get to work. The work is there to better you, never to put you in a place of constantly, no, mpenifye. Njala bwana mpenifye. And then this idea that no, I'm a meda, I'm a fertilizer. That's a propaganda ploy by the PF if I've ever seen one. Listen, if you were to understand and see the rot and the corruption that used to take place in FISP, honey, it would curl your hair if it was straight or make it straight if it was curled. That's how bad it was. It wasn't child's play. You had a bunch of criminals, a syndicate within the PF that were stealing fertilizer under the FIST program, and they were turning around selling it for a profit. All of that is going to take time to iron out. Again, let me say it, and I'll have to say it. They're not perfect. They're not. They've got a lot to learn. Okay, we know that. But they're a whole lot better than that bunch we had. Now, you can accept that, hate it, or love it, but that, my friend, is the God-honest truth. It is. Now, let me also say that, and this is something that I think is important, 2026 will be characterized by regional politics, but that ship has sailed. Because right now, this is a regional struggle now. The PF are going to turn this into a regional battle. Chishimba Kambwili tried everything within his power to split this country in half, but he failed because the Zambian people said, well, we're not tribal. It's you politicians that are tribal. You politicians try to make us tribal. We love each other. We are intermarried. We've got people from the east, from the north, from the west. We are all a conglomeration. We are an amalgamation of one people. So the trick of trying to divide us by preaching regional politics is simply not going to fly. The Zambian people demonstrated that when we voted in 2021. We said, no, we're not going to be tribal. And that's that. But the PF know that the only way that they can try to wrestle power from the UPND is to start preaching the message of regionalism. The North, the East against Badia. That's what it's going to be about. But the Zambian people are going to push back against that. And we're going to say, no, no, no. We've been down this road before. You've tried to indoctrinate us before. You've tried to make us drink the Kool-Aid. You've tried to pour poison into our ears, but we're not going to buy that. That ship has sailed. So here's the thing. Let me put it this way. 2026 is going to come, and it's going to go. The Zambian people are going to decide. Period. 2026 is going to come, and it's going to go. But the Zambian people are going to decide. And when we decide, honey, the sun will come up, and we will move on. Now, between now and 2026, I urge you, my fellow citizens, my fellow Black brothers and sisters, and whoever calls themselves Zambian, I urge you, live your life today. Today. Don't be stuck in 2026. There are PF people right now. Balota for 2026. Let me tell you what one of the main problems is. Let me tell you what one of the main problems is. One of the main problems is. Let me tell you, the PF just hate the fact that Hakainde Hichilema is the president. They can't stomach it. They wake up in the morning and they think to themselves, how in the world did this happen? How in the HE double hockey sticks did we wake up and the Zambian people decided that they were going to go with that guy? They can't stand it. It irritates them to no end. And so for the PF, their only objective, their only goal, their only recourse is to grab power from that region. Because they can't stand it. They hate it. And in their minds, they will do everything within their power to do it. But here's the problem. When the convention comes around, it's going to fall apart because they only have one candidate in mind. And I saw it at Tutwa's funeral. bonse bali abalensu bali abena Miles abena Emmanuel nabachishimba kambwiri tapali balelo tafye Ediga Edio bali around the Ediga by president by former president abena Bowman abena uyu Rafael Savimbi Nakachinda. Those chaps are whispering in former President Edgar Lungu's ears, and they're saying, "Tapari umbio, I saw it yesterday. Yesterday I saw one of the vloggers going around the funeral. They all had former President Lungu's t-shirts on, and they all kept on saying, that's a party that appears united, but it's about to fall apart at the seams. The P.F Appear United But. You know what the word but means? It's a conjunctive clause. But. The word but nullifies everything you said before. But. It's going to fall apart at the seams. Why? Because when the time comes to select a leader for the PF, oh, honey, it's going to be a circus. It's going to be, they're going to be jumping out of windows. I'm telling you, it's going to get crazy. All right. Well, hey, guys. Somebody says it irritates them to the bone. That's true. Well, hey, guys, thank you so much for listening. God bless. Have a wonderful day. Bye.